Avast ye viewers! Welcome to my Doctor Who themed YouTube channel, Who Ventures. I've just disembarked my ship to give you my thoughts on this wonderful episode, The Curse of the Black Spot, starring my good girl pirate Amy. So this is my review of Doctor Who Series 6 Episode 3, The Curse of the Black Spot. First of all, boys, we have a fashion show, and girls. This is my pirate outfit, my good girl Amy. So, swishy pirate cape is awesome, which I love. My cutlass sword. Yay! My jewels, which I've won from my ship. I've got all the jewels that we got. Well, not all of them, because there's more stashed below deck. Got the corset, velvet. Lovely velvet corset. And look, I got my necklaces because I have a girl in every port. So my girls, my ladies. So I got this one. Damn cleavage. That's that one's got a little cutlass on it. I've got my jewels, I've got my girls, got my corset, got my pirate ship. I'm most awesomest pirate. Yay! So let me just through and get myself a little bit more comfortable to give you my review of this wonderful sci-fi episode. Very interesting technology aboard my ship. So, for this year's reviews, my rules have changed somewhat. Because in Series 5, I gave my thoughts pretty much immediately after seeing the episode without reading about what anybody else thought of it. But this year, I've decided I'm going to review the episodes a few days after it's been on, and I would have read quite a lot of reviews of what my online mates thought of it and everything. So my viewpoint might be a little bit different. But so at first of all, I thought I wasn't quite sure whether I liked this episode because it was fun, but it was a bit of a romp. But now I'm actually really increasingly liking it as just an enjoyable childhood Enid Blyton style pirate adventure. Because I thought of another theory. I've got another theory. Now, what got me was, before I go through each episode, each bit by bit, what got me was that sparked off my Enid Blyton thoughts was the twist of Amy's hair at the very last scene when the doctor's saying, "Go to bed, Pond." She's got her hair all twisted and it's like Enid Blyton. And then I thought that it's pretty much, the Moffat era is pretty much, there must be a little switch on the TARDIS that just gives them lashings and lashings of ginger beer. Because it's so Enid Blyton, and it's like, once upon a time there was a little girl called Amelia Pond, and she lived in a really big house, and she's very scared about this crack in her bedroom wall. So one night she knelt down and prayed to Santa, and a magical spaceman dropped from the sky. It was this magical time-travelling box, and he promised her the universe and the world and the earth and the stars. But he didn't come back, so she spent her childhood wondering about the magical man from space. And she made a friend called Rory, and they played and played lots of adventures about this magic man. And then one day, so it's totally like Enid Blyton. And I really like this episode because it's really sparked off my childhoodness. Because the Russell T Davies era, I got into that because it's like, it's for me personally, it's Buffy. It's a bit Buffy because it was all about relationships, and it was adult because it was about relationships and heartbreak. But now with the Moffat era, we've gone back to being a kid again, and it's really awesome. Because I see lots of people on the Doctor Who forums and that, and say, talking about the toys, and say, like, I want to play with them, but I can't. It's like, why that? Well, I'm an adult now, I can't play with them. It's like, what? That is against the whole ethos of Doctor Who. How can you say that? Oh, I'm an adult now, I can't play with the toys. That's so ridiculous. The whole idea is to play and enjoy the stories, and that's why Moffat here is so brilliant. And that's another point against why I don't like River Song, because it's weird, because Moffat, it seems to be two people. It seems to be the child and wanting the childhood adventures and just the lashings of ginger beer and just adventuring and what's at the top of the magical wishing tree. I've got that bit mixed up. But all this magical stuff, and then he's got a teenager inside, and he is bringing River Song in, and she's just being really sexual. It's like just like intruding on on our childhood fantasies and our childhood play. She's got this sexualized woman coming in and making jokes about sex and things. It's like, excuse me, go away. We're playing pirates here. Go away, we're playing. It's like, stop it, because like you're bringing us this childhood wonderfulness and play and fancy, and then it's bringing this adultness, sexualization into it, and it's like, it's wrong. It's like trying to corrupt us. I feel like an inner child. I feel I'm a great big kid. Obviously, people always say that. My boyfriend says it. It says, you're about 5, aren't you? It's like, yeah, it's awesome. And then Moffat's like bringing this sort of sexualization in, and she's snugging the Doctor. It's like, stop it. What, you're corrupting us, kids? Stop corrupting us, kids. And people keep arguing it's a kids' show. Well, can you tell Moffat that? Because he seems to think that we've got to have jokes about men's areas and women's sexual activities whenever we have River Song in. So why? If it's a kid's show that a lot of people argue, why would it have that in? It's just wrong. There's a kid's show that did it amazingly, that appealed to adults and kids, was My Parents Are Aliens, which is the best show ever and needs to come out as a proper full box set of every single episode, because I adore it. And that really balanced it right, but Moffat's sort of corrupting it. But it's just so Enid Blyton and fairy tale now, and that's why I like this episode. That's why I've really liked this episode a lot since Saturday. I like it a lot more because it's a bit of a break from the scariness of the arc and all the mystery, and it's like just fun and swashbuckling. And it's just kidding. So, let's go through it. Now, what I thought about this episode was how much the 10th Doctor would do things differently. Because I imagine the 10th Doctor, David Tennant as a pirate, it would have been so awesome in this. Like, I think he would have totally dressed up and gone for it. But the 11th Doctor in this, it just seemed really rubbish. He's just fumbling about and everywhere, and it didn't help Amy save Rory. It's just, you've got a whole TARDIS time-out console thingy with all these different gadgets that do loads of stuff. Can't believe that there's nothing on there that you can't use to save Rory. Just goes like that. So there's got to be some plausible reason why he didn't even lift a finger to even bother trying to help it. It's like, I thought he was really useless in this episode. It's like, no, wait, I have enough to do. No, don't listen to me. It's like, agreed, Amy, we stopped listening to you a while ago. It's like it was just, but 10, David Tennant's Doctor, it would have been so much awesomeness, it would have been so much better, it would have helped Rory totally, like in 2 seconds, would have found something on the TARDIS and done loads. So I didn't really like the Doctor in this episode. I mean, Matt was obviously brilliant as always, but I just thought he wasn't very helpful. So, obviously this reminded me at the start of Prince Caspian, because that's the other big story on a ship what I used to watch. Because the one, I've forgotten his name, but there was some film on, the proper repeat, not a cartoon computer version, proper one. That's awesome. So obviously the jewels in this, the 5-point star, pagan star, I think, that was interesting. They don't really explain that. And then yo ho ho, and the Doctor just looked like a complete fool. Oh, the TARDIS reflection shot, when you see the TARDIS in this reflection, that looked awesome, that looked beautiful. Now, pink tights, Amy, pink tight pirate, yay, because I've been wearing pink tights for ages, and see those pink tights, total win. Then we've got the Doctor, like, walking the plank, it's like, oh, he's bouncing about on it, that's really cute, it's like, just gonna dive into it. Amy looked gorgeous, like saving your life. You okay with that? So go Amy. This is a very feminist episode. The girls being awesome. And I liked, like, it's like this Karen. It's like she wasn't quite polished enough. So she's really awesomely cute. It's like, especially in Confidential, it's like, oh, it's like, oh, Karen, you're so cute. But, what is that? Stunt Girl Steph's cute too, and she looked awesome as well. The Doctor's like, this is just silly in this episode. And Rory's like all tingly because like fancies Amy's pirate, like, and she's gorgeous. And then then we have Lily Cole as the Siren. Then I saw a point that Rory does act like, a lot like the Doctor when he's like under the Siren spell. Now, hotness wise, I think Karen as pirate is way hotter than Lily Cole as a Siren. But story wise, Lily Cole really works in this episode because she's got that sort of cartoon face and otherworldliness that really fits in as like a weird singing, like, gonna get you kind of thing. Because I saw it on Confidential when she was painted green just in the dressing room. She looked awesome. So she looks really cool as like a cartoon, especially when they morphed her face when she got mad and she was Flame Girl. They morphed her face, that looked awesome. So she did really well in this episode. There's a bit about, and then like Amy's in. Actually, I think she'd find she isn't. I think you'll find she isn't or something. Because Rory's like, oh, and Amy's a bit jealous. But then Amy said, you are in enough trouble. It's like, oh. And then the Doctor had his hat on, his pirate hat. I don't think he suits a pirate hat though. Well, not with a bow tie. I'm not sure a pirate hat is his best hat. So, I suppose this Fez would be his best hat so far, but I think there'll be some other hats he might look better in. Then there's about the good days and bad days bit. That's reminds me a bit of that little bit in Vincent and the Doctor about good things and bad things. Then Rory and Amy exchange a look when the Doctor mentions about when he gets shot by that astronaut. It's like, oh. And then again, it was like really sort of skipped it bigger on the inside bit. Like, he's getting really tired of it. But I loved how he said, yes, this is a choice of bathroom. It's like, yay. And I really like that bit when they went in TARDIS and said what some of the gadgets do again. That was really cool. Then Toby appears, trying to find his dad, and that kid is from Emmerdale as well, I think, and he's a really awesome actor, so I thought he did really well in this episode. It's like, I'm confused, it's a big club, we should get t-shirts. Let's see what the fans are going to be saying. Us fans should get t-shirts, that's awesome. And then talk about stroking the TARDIS and singing her a song. Oh, I love it when he talks about TARDIS like that. It's like really sweet. I didn't quite know where the TARDIS ran off on its own, because the effect when it did though, that looked really pretty and awesome. So I'm not quite sure what happened with the TARDIS running off on its own. I do pay attention to a lot of the episodes, but some things I'm not quite sure about. But then it's discovered that the Siren comes through from the reflections, and then they have to get all the jewels and stuff, destroy all the reflections, because there's a strappy homicidal mermaid. I like that bit when that's said, well, good for a moment there, I thought it was yours. Awesome, and then the moon reflecting, it was really pretty. And then this one I thought, oh, how boring, it's that high down below bit. I got for a little bit bored. And then it's about, there's a sort of a theme about men breaking the promises during the Moffat era, and it's picked up again with Toby's dad, because he said he promised he'd come home but he didn't. So there's some sort of thing about men breaking promises. So some sort of psychoanalytical thing with Moffat there, I think, about men promising the world and then just breaking your heart. So then Hatch Lady, we've got a new meme of Hatch Lady, which I think this meme is a lot more fun than the crack, because I used to watch Nightmare, and I was actually really scared of it, because the boy puts helmet on, or the kid puts helmet on, and it's like, oh no, that dog's gonna get you, oh no, he's gonna go up, wander off. It's like, I so into Nightmare. I so, like, into it, I thought it was proper real. I thought it was real happening. So I love how the Hatch Lady is, when the hatch opens, it's like so obviously a computer graphic that makes it so scary. Because there's a theory going round that in a parallel concurrent universe, Amy's giving birth to her daughter, or her kid. And the Hatch Lady is the midwife, which corresponds to like, you're doing fine, just stay calm. But I'm not sure about that theory. It's interesting, but I really like the meme, and it's just because it's so out of place and so computer graphic, it really works for me, and I really enjoy that meme. So it's really cool. Then you've got the greatest adventures, having someone to share it with you. It's like, oh, especially with Doctor Who fans, sharing this whole story and adventure with loads of fans is awesome. And then there's a sinister bit. Things can suddenly change when you least expect them, which can be a good thing as well, because like, you think you can be fan of something that makes you really happy, and it's brilliant. And it feels like something's out there staring at me, which possibly was this ghost ship that was in the same universe, but it might be something else as well. Then that Toby, and it's about his dad like couldn't give up the gold, he has to go after this gold instead of looking after Toby. And we've got send the Siren in to save Rory. It's like, and Amy's all, no. It's like, oh. Then we discovered the ghost ship. Now, I really liked, I wrote down 8th Doctor. Not quite sure why. Something about the TARDIS bit. I'm not quite sure. But I really liked this bit. I said that it's like universes inside each other. Well, do you believe that? Good, because it's not like that at all. It's like the reflections of gateways. Do you ever feel like there's a whole other world in the mirror? It's like, I've always felt like that as a kid. But like, that's when my big thing's looking in the mirror and thinking there's a whole other world. And when I've been sad or really sad about something or really like depressed about boys or something, I've looked in the mirror and just imagined a different thing in the mirror happening. And when you try to trick yourself, trick your reflections, like try to do something, see if your reflection moves different or moves out of sync with you. Like I love the mirror stuff. That's kind of Enid Blyton as well. Like you go up to the top of the tree in this whole other world and you go through a mirror like Alice in Wonderland, I guess. That's what I really like that. And then you've got the skeletons. So at first I thought there was like a bit Judooni, but there's also dinosaur. And that alien boogies, then Amy's got that look on her face like. So I love that. Then we've got Topless Rory. Now there was a bit where a pirate disappeared in this episode. And a lot of people have been talking about whether it was a mistake or whether it was some sort of deliberate plot line point. But I didn't actually notice it when I was watching the episode. I only read about it, so it didn't really, it got past me at least. So, and then you find out the Siren is actually a doctor, and she's like, oh, it's like, it's like singing the Doctor Who theme tune. And I liked Amy's nail polish, she looked really pretty. And then the pirate, because Toby's ill and the Siren can look after him, he lets the pirates and the dad all take this alien ship off in space. Now, the Doctor's got some dodgy morals, because it reminded me of when he let Lady Christina, the jewel thief, who just goes on nicking jewels, he let her go off in a flying buzz. She's a jewel thief, it's like loose morals, and you let her take a flying buzz, just wherever, somewhere. Where it's like, he's quite happy to let dodgy moral people just take big, massive alien technology and just wander off somewhere. I don't quite understand his reasoning. I understand, so he's got to look after the boy, but they are still pirates, so that's interesting. So pirates in space. Pirates in space! Yeah. So it's a bit like Firefly, isn't it? Pirates in space instead of cowboys in space. And then it's about giving consent to get Rory and take Rory into the TARDIS, and the Doctor just doesn't help at all, and Amy nearly gives up. It's like, don't give up, Amy. Now, I did say about in my previous review for the first 2 episodes how they don't really trust each other, and I still think that's kind of true, but Rory's sort of got trust that Amy won't give up on him, because they've only got each other and the Doctor, so because they've left the family behind and everything. So they have to rely and depend on each other. And so it's a bit silly. Oh my gosh, they've got Rory again. It's like, Rory, seriously, again? But then she saves him. And then she's going off up to bed with his hair all twisted and a cardigan on. She looks like from the 50s. Like 50s kiddie story adventure. And saying, good night, Amelia. And then always worry about you. It's like, go to bed, Pond. And it's like, you can't tell him. It's like, so we've got that bit. And then we have the cliffhanger bit of the Doctor's pregnancy scanner thing on Amelia. So, and it keeps switching. So that's still a cliffhanger there. But some people have said it's a bit silly. It's a bit annoying to have the same cliffhanger again. But I'm not sure. But so, and Confidential, I love that bit when he's introducing that competition about writing a scene for Doctor Who. And I love that. Turn down for Strictly Come Dancing. Oh, I wish Matt could do Strictly Come Dancing. That would be awesome. He can't though, really, because he's probably got loads of filming to do. But that would be so awesome. So, and then it's really interesting Confidential scene. Stunt double star. That's it. Stunt double star. She's doing it, stunts and that. So yeah, it was a really awesome episode, and it's like a nice little standalone story. It sort of drags a little bit, but it is a really nice, enjoyable story. And I originally gave it 6 out of 10, but I think I might up it a bit to about 7 to 8. On the basis that it's loads of fun and just kiddie and fancy and play, and you can just dress up and have awesome adventures and play in your cutlass. So, I hope you have enjoyed this review, the piratey episode of Doctor Who. So yay, have fun dressing up as a pirate and doing loads of fun, cool stuff with Pirate Amy who's hot. So, I want a Pirate Amy stand-up, please, because that'd be awesome. And Pirate Amy action figure, that'd be awesome. But a stand-up would be incredibly cool. So, I hope you have enjoyed my review of this episode, and thank you for watching. Yay!